So the first question that I have for you guys is, why do you go to companies' websites for?
Information.
Information? Okay, that's a good one.
Buy something.
To buy something?
Or purchase a service.
To purchase a service?
To look for decision makers.
To look for decision makers? Okay, doing sales and stuff like that, or?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody else had something back.
Look at reviews.
Reviews? Yeah.
See if they're legit.
See if they're
It's a
legit.
company.
To validate, yeah.
Informed decision making.
Okay. To inform decision making. Yeah.
I go there to learn things, just to learn, right, about a category or something like that. I don't know much about it. Companies can give you that information.
Yeah. Those are good. Okay. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of content is king when you hear of like SEO and things like that. For our purposes and for my purpose, doing bootstrapped business development, I believe that conversion is king. So really, unless you're like a marketer or something like that, you're a business owner, you're doing sales, all you care about is like getting leads, right? Like you don't care about traffic, you don't care about visitors, you just want actual leads. So I'm going to talk about on-site SEO and off-site SEO, just some simple things. I don't want to get too in the weeds because I know a lot of you aren't responsible for the actual website of your companies, so I don't want to get too techie with you. But I really want to spend a few minutes talking about what a top-of-the-funnel call to action is. So who has heard of this concept before? Can kind of understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a quick example here. So GeoAmps is the company that I used to work for. This is their website. As you can see, they have a big header image here. Watch videos, schedule demonstrations. So I told you guys before, we went from 35 leads a year to 145 leads a year. So how do we do that? As you can see here, there's a demo request form. So let's say someone is going on the website to look at information, to do their research, to validate, look at decision makers and things like that. So they go through the site, and then if they wanted to contact us, they would go to demo, and then they would fill out this form here to get a demonstration. This is an example of a bottom of the funnel call to action. So the very last thing someone's going to do when they go to a website is to reach out to that person. Like we talked about before, you're going to a website to do research. So if the only call to action on your site is a bottom of the funnel call to action, you're missing the opportunity to get a lot of leads. So what we did is on the different product pages here, we added this download case study. So still someone's coming to the site to do their research, figure out about the product, but then they want to know some more. So then they click this button here, and they download a case study. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys are utilizing this feature currently, but I did some research on your websites, and I didn't see a lot of this top of the funnel call to action. Is there any questions around what a top of the funnel call to action is, or do you guys kind of grasp the concept there? Yeah.
You're really saying, rather than try to sell them anything, you're appealing to what they came for, which is probably education of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, like, when someone's coming to your website to get educated, you want to exchange that educational piece for their contact information. So if they want to learn more, and in this case, there was 145 people willing to give us their information in exchange for this call to action. So with that, we are going to do a little bit of an exercise here. Because again, I did some research, saw that most of you weren't utilizing this feature. And I want to encourage networking as well. So what we're going to do is spend 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes on this, but turn to the person next to you. If you have your phone or whatever, I want one person to show the other person their website, to look through it, kind of see what the website's about, and then I want the other person to tell them what might be a good top of the funnel call to action. So what is something that they could exchange? Like, what is something that would be worth their contact information to learn more about on your site? And then you're going to do some feedback and then switch. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
You're going to tell us when to switch, right?
Just switch yourself. Okay. So just spend 5 minutes, and then we'll kind of reconvene and we'll do some examples. All right, cool. So I hope you guys got some good ideas. Sound like you guys were talking an awful lot. So just curious, does anyone want to share their idea for a top of the funnel marketing piece? Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you recommend forcing someone to sign up, use their name and email and all that at the top of the funnel or at the bottom of the funnel? Because I know as a consumer, as a business owner, I would love it to be at the top of the funnel, but as a consumer, if someone asks me too early, I bail and move on.
Yep. So on this example here, like people are definitely able to go to this website and find out information. You can see like it's all like free and readily available right there. But if they want to go, it's if they want to go deeper, you know. It's like a case study. It's those sort of things that you want to put behind, like just give us your name and email at the minimum. So don't hide everything, but yeah.
So your page is the sample, and then the downloaded case study is placed in the order.
What's that?
Putting in food terms, like the way that a lot of places will have little samples on the counter.
Yes.
That is, if you scroll down,
Yep.
and you want to actually try the sandwich, it's the downloaded case study, and that's the lead gen.
Yes, exactly. Yo.
So we looked at, what was his name, Loki? Yeah. We looked at Loki's site called Patron Art, which was a place that you could buy and sell kind of like masterpiece paintings. And kind of similar to this example here, what we suggested was, as an artist coming and looking at the site and thinking about, okay, can I actually make money from selling my paintings on this site? We would be willing to exchange our contact information for kind of similarly a case study of, is this site successful for other people like me? The site gives basic information about the types of paintings that are on there, but I think for somebody who's looking to make money by posting their paintings on the site, that'd be something, a case study would be something we'd be willing to exchange information for.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else want to share? Quick. Yeah.
How is this different between marketing business to business versus marketing business to consumer? Because I would think that it's quite different, because this to me, the site you're showing up here, seems like it's designed to market directly to other businesses, right? So I would think there would be some differences. Can you just speak to that?
Right. Did anyone have an example of a B2C business that they came up with a case study for? All B2C or B2B? Yeah. You guys got an idea for a case study?
Oh, case study. Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, like a top of the funnel call to action?
Well, kind of, yeah. Robbie does finance.
Okay.
And so on their website, it had different options you could do, but it just said, give your name, email, and then comments. Do you have a question? My thinking was, I don't know a lot about finance, so I have a ton of questions, but I really don't know what to ask. So we kind of narrowed it down to, writing, giving them options. Do you want to save money for retirement? Do you want to save money for a house? Do you want to save money for marriage? Do you want to pay off debt? And then from there, you could click those and kind of help me visualize, all right, this is what I want to do. And then he could contact me and say, these are some options, let's talk further.
Okay.
That's kind of our thinking.
Okay. Yeah.
Just going to say, I don't think it matters whether it's B2B or B2C. The real issue is, are you speaking to what they're trying to understand? They're coming there to get something done, to learn something, and you need to speak just like for the finance or for B2B. Everybody's got something they're looking for, and it's a matter of making the message and the download appeal to the person who's working for a B2B or the person who's doing something on their own. It doesn't really make any difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would see this as operating more in third-party validation, whether it's B2B or B2C. If you have an individual who has an interest in this come to your website, they're saying, okay, fine, but then you show a download opportunity for either a white paper from a third-party source or case studies that you do in here, that incentivizes the individual to give you their name, telephone number, and email address to gain that information.
Yeah.
I reviewed our website and it sucks. We don't have anything at all to do.
Yeah.
So we were wondering if there should be a variety of top of the funnel call to actions that could appeal to different people based on what their needs were, or is it important to have just one thing and then change that out over time?
I think it would depend. I mean, especially if you're doing blogging, there's a lot of opportunities to do different types of top of the funnel call to actions based on the blog. So if you're blogging like 10 steps for how to make your house cleaner this fall, you know, you could have a case study for like the tools you'll need, you know, it's like an extension of the blog. So you could have multiple that way. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're a nonprofit, which means we're always seeking out two different groups. It's our donors and people that are actually looking for the service we're providing.
Mm-hmm.
So on our website, we have a banner that slides and has 4 different things. 2 are focused on donors and getting them somewhere where they can donate, and the other 2 are focused on more information about the therapy we're providing.
Okay.
Does that feel like we're splitting things up too much, or?
I mean, just off the top of my head, for nonprofits, I would think like having your annual report as like a top of the funnel marketing piece, because like when I think of people who want to donate to nonprofits, a lot of them want to check where the money's going, you know? So like having that as a top of the funnel call to action would be a great idea, because you know that person's interested in maybe donating, you know? So if they're researching like, just like checking you guys out more, then you can like call them or email them, you know? And then you say your services, and have a call to action for your services too, like, you know, show on your site these are our services, but like maybe like a brochure about your services too they can download, print off, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so good stuff. I'm gonna go over quickly to some other SEO things that we can talk about. I'm gonna go pretty fast over the on-site ones. Obviously, having content on your site that's relevant to your keywords. So if you're in business for cleaning in Columbus, you want to make sure that your title tags say cleaning, that you have the word cleaning on your site a few times, you know. There's a neat tool to kind of rank your site called WooRank. And I'm going to include all the links in the email I send you guys afterwards, so don't worry about writing this down. But WooRank is a neat tool. They have a cool plugin on Chrome here. So if I was to go to, I'm not sure if it's set up just for my website or if I can go to any website. Click on this little plugin here. And what it's going to do is it's just going to rank your site for SEO. There you go, perfect. So you have to take these reports with a grain of salt. I mean, obviously, Innovate in Albany site's really good. I don't want to bash it at all. And my site ranks pretty much similar. But it's just going to give you ideas for like things to change. So, for example, it's going to tell you what your title tag is, you know. And title tag is, if you can see it, this thing up here, right? So it says Innovate New Albany, Ohio, which is great because they're in New Albany and they have that in their title. As far as description goes, maybe they need to fill that out. Description is going to be what you see as the description in Google. So it's going to say first the title, and then it's going to say 160 character description. And the other things like what are the words? Yeah.
I'm sorry, could you move the projector a little over? So
yeah. Sorry. Other things.
Where is this on the web? Where are you picking this up? You're looking at the Innovate New Albany website. With what software?
So you have to just go to woorank.com, and then there'll be a plugin for Chrome. Okay. So if your browser is Chrome, you can install it. Once you're on a website, just click the little WooRank button, and this thing will pop up. And you can do this at any website, so you could spy on your competitors if you wanted to. But yeah, so again, keywords and a bunch of other things too. But I'm not going to get too much in the weeds with this kind of stuff. Close that. Just know that it's available. Went over meta tags and descriptions and images, so just making sure that if you're a local business, especially that you have local terms in your keywords on your pages and in your title tags. One thing that some websites neglect to do, and I don't think this affects your SEO at all, but it just kind of, it bothers me, is this thing up here called a favicon. So a favicon is like this little image that appears next to your title tag. Generally it's people's logos. But if you ever go to a website and it's like just a blank, like this little icon is just like a page, like they don't have it on their site. It's just one of those things, it's like, I don't think it affects SEO, but it's just like, why not have it if you could have it, you know, it just looks nice. I'm sure that if you guys have a website, you've gotten emails from Google saying they're going to start ranking based on the speed of your website. So mobile ranking is going to be, or mobile optimization is super important. And a big factor in that is how fast it loads on a mobile device, not using as much data. So a really easy tool that you can check your site is this, Google has this test my website feature for speed. Put in your URL and it's going to give you a report on how fast your website is on a desktop, on a mobile device, and the report that it gives you is super descriptive and it's going to tell you exactly what to do. So I don't think there's a need for us to go into it today. Just type in your website, do test now, it'll calculate, email your report, and it's going to tell you step by step what to do. Yes?
What's your two, I'm tech idiot. What are the two main things you need to look at so that you can optimize this, how fast your website moves? What does it look at? What's the question?
I guess, what's the criteria for this report?
For gauging
the speed?
The speed of loading up your website.
So one of the things would be like image optimization. So if you have images on your site that are just like gigantic files, you know, it's going to tell you to, you know, crunch those files down so they're smaller. Another one would be like the position of certain JavaScript elements on your page, which is super techy if you don't care, I'll explain anyways. Basically, like if your JavaScript's in the top of the page and it's required to even load like what you see right here, it'll dock for that. It wants you to put that kind of in the footer so people can at least see this splash screen before everything else gets loaded. So those kind of things affect it. What else? Again, it's all in the report. I mean, it's a bunch of techie stuff that, yeah. So just keep that in mind. And then there's something called structured data. So the schema thing, it's basically how the web likes to get information. So an example would be, and I'll actually do this one. So I'll type in my website, makeshark.com. And what it's going to do is it's going to search my site for its structured data. And as you can see here, this is my site's code. And over here, I can see the description, the name of my site, the phone number associated with my company, hours of operation, all the social media pages, and so forth. A lot of sites aren't doing this. Let me find an example of, what's an example of a site? I'll put in this website here. All right, and you can see that it didn't detect any of this structured data. So it's just one more way to optimize your site for search engines to more easily find it is if you have this data in a format that search engines like to see. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So where did you find this? You went on to Google and put in structured data testing tool?
Yeah, and I'll send you a link for this too, so don't worry about writing it down again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so structured data, one is obviously you want to know how to put it on your site. I'll send you a link for that. It's pretty simple. You just fill out, you replace your information, replace like my information with your information, and then put it in the header of your site. It couldn't be more simple, but I'll include that in the email afterwards. And then you can test it, see if it's working with this tool. Okay, so that's all I'm going to cover for on-site SEO stuff, off-site SEO stuff. So this is all the stuff out there on the web that's not your website, that's getting people back to your site. So the first thing is having a Google My Business. Does everyone pretty much know what Google My Business is? Or no? So Google My Business is basically like any other account on the web, like a Facebook page or Yellow Book page or whatever. It's just something you sign up for, and what it's going to do is give you a listing that looks like this. So it's you sign up for the account, it's free, it's from Google, and you're basically just putting in like your address, some information about you, and it's what people go to review your business. So as you can see, this is super important because it's going to be when people search for your service, like website design SEO in Columbus, Ohio, first thing you're going to see is all the ads, and then right below that, they're going to see this Google Businesses here. And that's even before all of the stuff you could possibly optimize in your actual page for SEO, all these things right here, this comes up before those. So this is super important especially if you're a local business. As you can see mine here as the top of this list. I'm not trying to brag, like this is based on like your computer and like location as well. So definitely have a Google My Business page if you don't already, and get reviews. So mine has 11 reviews. Just ask your customers to review your business. One thing that I like to do, because this can be kind of hard, because again, this is dependent on your computer and location as well. If I'm going to ask a customer for a review, I'll go ahead and find my website here, or my company. I'll click on it. And then, oh wait, there it is. So it comes up here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and write a review. I'm not actually going to do this, but this is what's going to come up. So I'm going to copy this URL and go to my email. And I'll just go ahead and actually show you an example. This is some of like the email tools that I'm going to show you later, but I have a template already set up for this. I'll send it to Ryan. But basically, I have this template set up, and I'll show you more about this tool in a second, so don't get overwhelmed. But operations, Google review. So I want someone to review my business. I have this template set up. It's going to say, hey, Ryan, hope you're doing well. Want to know if you wouldn't mind giving Make Shark a 5-star review on Google. And basically, I just copied, and I pasted that link right here. If I paste it out, you're going to see it's this big, ugly link. Nobody wants to click on that. So just make it prettier by saying click here. But I link people specifically to this thing because it can be kind of difficult. If you're asking someone for a review and to do something for you, the last thing you want them to do is do any more work than they have to do to give you that. So just link them right to here. So when they click on it, they go right there. If they're logged into Chrome, it'll come up with their account. They can give you 5 stars and write a description, and you're done. Yeah?
How helpful has it been for you when you put your Google Places, you put the web design and SEO Columbus, Ohio in your business name?
Yeah.
Like, how helpful is that in improving where you come up, where people do that search?
The short answer is I don't know. The longer answer is I thought it was a good idea. I mean, why not have it in your business name? So, yeah. Yeah.
The biggest advantage is if you have the location in your business name, when you link to your website, your URL has that name in it. So, and the more often you can have the location and everything, it'll just be more relevant for your website. And I guess the Google My Business thing, the one thing I wanted to add was make sure, a lot of times users can edit this information. You can see at the bottom, they'll have like a submit, submit edit or something.
Right here.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes your business might actually already be on Google, but you haven't claimed it, and somebody had just searched for this. And Google basically will go search the internet and find where this business is and kind of pre-populate this. You can just go and, if you haven't made one yet, you can just go claim it. That's something else you can do.
Yeah. Thanks.
You said if they're logged into Chrome, that'll pop up. What if they're using some other browser or whatever? Do they have to log in to Google or anything?
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be based on their Google account. They'll have to have that to give you a review. You have a question?
Yeah, I guess it's more concerned with like the address.
Okay.
Like I want people to find me. Like a 2-part question, I guess. Most of my clients are not in Columbus, even though I live here. And 2, like my office is in my home, so I don't want to put my home address up on Google for people to go back there. Like, should I just put like Columbus, Ohio, or like is it relative? Do I leave it blank or?
I'm pretty sure you have to put a specific address because Google wants to verify that it's you, so they're going to send you mail, and then you have to log in and verify it. So I don't think you can just be vague like Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
It has to be specific. And this is really beneficial for local businesses too. So
well, that's why I wanted to pick up local business, but I just didn't want to have access to my home address because my clients I don't need that. Like people need somewhere.
Gotcha.
Need their place.
I mean, for this lesson here, like this is my home address, so but I'm moving, so you can't like come there. I actually just got an office at Cohatch, so I mean, I use my personal home address for the longest time. But if you're not comfortable with it, I don't know. Yeah.
Another alternative is UPS stores will offer PO boxes as street addresses, so it's not like a PO box at a post office. It's a UPS street address, and it just says your company and the street address. So you don't have to worry about the confidentiality of their personal residence.
I'm gonna go here, then get you.
Is there a way for you to manage negative reviews? If you get a bad review, is that it? Like your 5.0 is gone forever, or do you get another chance?
That's a good question. Do you know the answer to that?
More reviews?
Oh, I'm sorry. He wanted to know if you get a bad review, can you manage that? Like, take it off?
Not really. It's just about getting more reviews at that point to boost your ranking.
So he's an SEO expert. He said that no, you just have to get more positive reviews.
The answer to your question was you can set your Google My Business to a service area so it doesn't directly show your business. That's how it's set up too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you still need like a personal address to verify it, and then you can just show
they
to
have
the
to
world.
send you a business card or a card to your website that has like a verification code on it, and then that's how you verify that's your business.
But they won't list that. They won't list your home address. Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Cool. And then you got a question?
Well, I just had another recommendation.
Okay.
So there are some like co-working office spaces where you can pay like, I don't know, $50 a month to use their address, and it'll give you like a formal one, like it could be 8,000 Wall Parkway,
Yes.
Suite 100, and that's what everybody is seeing. So it's a way to reach the pricing for business. Like I know there's one in Dublin, and near Dublin.
Yeah, space right here, in fact.
Yeah.
They do Albany. Yeah. It would actually be 8,000 Walton Parkway, Suite 200. But yes, that is an actual thing. We have virtual things.
Yeah, and that's what I use for my business now. Moving forward, it's at CoHatch. So it's a co-working space like you described, and just all my mail goes there, and I can have that cool high street address. So, yeah. Cool. Okay. So backlinks is probably something you guys have heard about. This is another one that's pretty simple to do, which is why I'm talking about it for. But basically, it's every time on the web that has your business name, has your address, and it has a link back to your site. So it's called a backlink, basically. And it's going to be things like Facebook, Yellow Pages, any site, any directory that links back to your site. A super cool tool to kind of manage your backlinks is Moz Local. And I'll quickly show you what it's doing to kind of walk you through what I'm talking about here. So basically, you just want a lot of websites to link back to your site, and you want them all to be consistent. So if I do this report here on Moz Local, I'll type in my business name, my zip code, and I'll find it. It takes like 30 seconds here. Okay, it has to be verified with Google or Facebook, so this is verified. Click on it, and it's going to show me just a few websites that they integrate and track. Okay, so along this line here is just websites that they're tracking, like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Facebook, and Google Plus, and things like that. So if it's green, you have an account there that it recognizes. If it's down here, it means you don't have an account that it recognizes. And basically, it's checking how consistent across the web that your business is. So if your address is like, if you label your address like #109 on one site, but then like the suite number is like, then you put like suite 109 different site, that's inconsistent. Is that accurate? So you want to just make sure that it's complete. Your profiles are complete in all these different places, and that they're consistent. That's the main two things that it's tracking here. So you can do it yourself manually. If you want to bootstrap it, you can also pay for this service here. I think it's like $9 a month or $50 here, something like that. Again, it's just one more thing you can do to help your SEO. And finally, this is just my personal recommendation. If you type in your product or service on Google and you see all the people that come up before you, all your competitors, go to their websites. Use these tools that I showed you on their websites to see maybe how their SEO is, and then use those same principles on your website. So if they have a blog, for instance, and they're ranking above you, maybe it's a good idea to put a blog on your site. If they have more keywords in their header title and stuff like that, maybe it's a good idea for you to do that too. It may take a while to for Google to rank you above theirs, but definitely it couldn't hurt to at least do better than your competitors. So that's it on website SEO. Again, my big thing is conversions king. So, I mean, with my website personally, I do these things, but I stress more about conversions, having that top of funnel marketing piece on my site. So when I'm doing my emails, when I'm cold calling people, when I'm out at events like this and people like come to my website, I want to know that they converted. So the big thing is conversion. Hope that's pretty clear. Cool. Yeah.
So let's say I do a spy on my competitors and use the tools that we learned about here. Is there some sort of set time period in which you know or anybody knows where Google will move you up in the rankings?
I don't know of any time.
Google has to crawl basically every website on the internet, which is basically they go to your website, see what's on your website, and so if you think about how many billions of websites there are, they have to track all of that. Now, in one of Google's tools, you can tell it to go look for a specific website, so you can go send that information. But when you're creating 50, 100 backlinks or something, doing that to all of them is kind of suspicious. The example that I give is like if you're building a house, for example, the house takes a month or two to build. If they built it in a week, you'd be like, that seems a little strange. So it's all about being natural. You don't want to do things that seem suspicious to Google because that's when they may penalize you if you do something, either over-optimize your website or do something like, why are they already telling me to go look at these? We'll get to them, but it's just about doing things natural that you would normally do.
And Google could take a bit of time to like update information. So I've updated clients like metadata, and it's taken like a day or two for Google to recognize that and show them search results. So it just takes time sometimes.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So we covered website SEO. Next, we're going to get more into like business development topics and finding leads. We'll take a quick break.